Hi, this is Anthony Zapata again. I'm a digital marketing strategist slash consultant, and if you watch my first video, you'll understand what it is I'm doing here. Like I said at the end of the first video, I'm going to be talking today, or not today, it's the same freaking day, but I'm going to be talking through this video regarding what is digital. Just a general overview of SEO, PPC, websites, digital advertising, analytics, social, just give you an overall basic. Just to give you, in case you didn't watch the first video, just to give you a quick recap. Like I said, I'm a digital marketing strategist, 18 years experience, agency, both agency, client side, had my own consulting business. I also used to teach digital and social classes at the University of North Texas. Recently left corporate America, moved out to the country, built a tiny house, which through some of these videos, maybe I'll actually show you guys. Moved out to the country, wanted something different, wanted to pursue some different what's the word I'm looking, ambitions, if you will, some different things I wanted to do, but I also didn't want to let go of something I'm still passionate about and have a lot of knowledge around, which is digital marketing. So with that being said, let's jump into what is SEO. I'll use a country analogy. SEO is like planting a garden. Don't expect any instant gratification. It's going to take a little while. It's going to take some learning experiences. I've actually done it. I've actually moved out here and helped build a 20 by 20 garden, and the whole time I'm doing this, I'm thinking, how does this apply to what I used to do, digital? And it's very applicable in that, it's all about seeds. It's all about planting seeds, and there's a lot of different things to plant. Back in the day, we were just, planting seeds on websites. We were trying to get our websites to grow. We were trying to get our websites to blossom in the Google hemisphere. Bing, it wasn't Bing back then, but we were trying to evolve this process of getting people's attention online. Okay, so in like a garden, it takes a lot of learning. It takes a lot of changing your thought process, changing maybe how you started, and now what you're doing now is nothing like how you began. Back in the day, it used to be all about content. The more content you had, the higher in the search results that you would get, and it just doesn't work that way anymore. And what I meant earlier about seeding a lot of different things. You used to just worry about seeding your website and doing the tactical things, which we'll get into in another video. But the little tactical things you had to do on your website to have the best opportunity of evolving in Google and evolving in the other search engines and making sure that you were front and center when somebody searched whatever, red Ford F-150. Okay, so now it's not just about seeding your website. Your website's now more about the overall experience, who you are, what do you provide, how much do you provide that for. Everybody likes to be secretive with their pricing, but one way or the other, we're going to get it, and we want to do it online. We don't want to have to call you. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent, which I will do. But anyway, it was all about how you did things in one channel. Now, you have a lot of channels, meaning your social channels, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. Another channel would be paid search advertising, digital advertising, which is advertising on Facebook or other, banners on other sites, videos. And now you got to seed content in all of these different channels. What you say on Twitter gets indexed, okay? It gets indexed, it gets stored away forever in a catalog of information, just like Google is. And Facebook's doing the same thing. They're all doing the same thing. It's all information, okay? But before, it was just all I had to worry about was, okay, I need to make my website the best thing I can do. Now, it's not just about your website anymore, okay? You got to grow other things, okay? You got to grow your YouTube channel. You got to grow your Facebook presence. You got to grow your Twitter followers. You got to grow your Instagram followers. You got to advertise on Facebook, and because everything's now so targeted that it really doesn't take $1 million to do a lot of things. It's just, are you doing the right things in the right places to the right people? Because you can get that data and you can get it down to that kind of small segment, but it takes time. It takes energy. It takes, money. Yes, money or time. That's what marketing is. It's either your money or your time. Everything I'm going to tell you, everything that I'm going to explain in these videos, you can go out and read for yourself. You can learn how to do this stuff. You can do it all by yourself. The difference between doing that and using somebody like me, or learning from somebody like me, or hiring someone like me, is that I've accumulated 18 years worth of knowledge that you don't now have to go and accumulate. I've had experiences that you'll never have because you haven't gone through the projects I've gone through, positives, negatives, what you learned, how to do things differently, how to tie it all together, how to make sure that you're tracking everything properly. These are all things that I've done in my career. These are all things I've done throughout this 18-year career of mine. And so, anyway, again, went off on a tangent. But SEO, PPC, websites, it all boils down to what are you trying to accomplish. If we're talking 2018, obviously right now, your website is an extension of your business. Your website is your hub, if you will, of information. It's where you may host your videos. It's where all your products sit. It's where, people come to have a sense. It's your brick and mortar store. It's your brick and mortar storefront, except it's not brick and mortar, it's digital. Okay? Now, your Twitter is a vehicle. It is a vehicle for seeding information about a new product you just got, about some new event you're having at your store. That information you push out in the effort to drive them to a destination, which can be your website. It could be a landing page. It could be a video. It could be a lot of things. But Twitter is a channel. It's where you're having to seed information out. You're always going to want to maybe use keywords. Don't overdo it. Push them through your Twitter. Push them through Facebook. Push them in your videos. Everything you're trying to do, the point is you're having to constantly seed different things, just like you would in a garden. Some are going to grow. Some are not. Some you may have to start from scratch. You may have to start over. You may have to rethink how you're doing it. But that's the whole idea behind what I do for companies, is try to help you not make too many mistakes, because every mistake in marketing is money. It's costly. It was either your time or your money that you lost. Okay, you certainly don't want to spend 18 years. It's a full-time job learning digital over an 18-year time period. Obviously, if you're trying to sell black cocktail dresses at Crystal's Boutique in San Antonio, you have other things that you need to do. It doesn't mean you can't. You ignore your marketing. You do need to understand it. It just doesn't mean that you need to do it. It just doesn't mean that you need to be the one doing it. If you have the money to invest in hiring the right talent, agency, freelance, whatever, employee, great. If you don't, figure out a different solution. That's what I try to help you do. So anyway, SEO is your organic. It's your planting from seed, seeing what happens. Paid search. Paid search is more of your, I'm going to buy a tree at different levels, and I'll explain. Instead of planting from seed, that takes a long time to grow and maybe make a lot of mistakes. There may be some changes in the soil, maybe some changes in Google, and then now you have to start all over again. That's SEO. With PPC, it's, you know what, I'm going to plant from tree. I'm going to plant a tree that is going to bear fruit a lot faster than if I had planted from a seed. Okay, to me, both should be done, but you got to decide: is the juice worth the squeeze in one versus the other? So anyway, so if you plant from tree, now it's the size of the tree that is going to be dependent on how quickly you get something back in return. So if you plant a 1-foot tree, it's going to take, let's say, 3 years to bear fruit. If you plant a 6-foot tree, it's going to take you a year before it produces some kind of result. If you plant a 10-foot tree, you're planting a result. Now, what's the difference in all the sizes of those trees? Money. You got money to spend to buy a 10-foot tree. You got money to spend to buy a 1-foot tree. That's what it really is. I mean, it's more complicated than that, but when you look at it from that perspective, it is how much are you willing to invest and how quickly do you need to get something out of it. If you need to get a quick return and you need it fast, well, you're going to have to invest more on the front end. If you can wait a little bit longer, but you kind of still need something quicker, you invest less and buy a smaller tree. Same thing in paid search. So with Google, it used to be all budget driven. If you want to be number one, you're going to plant the 10-foot tree. Okay, and you're going to spend money on a 10-foot tree, and you're always going to have the 10-foot tree, and it's always going to be there, and you're going to be number one, and you're investing the most money, so we're going to give you the number one spot. It's not like that anymore. Now it's about who has the best tree, who has the most, what's the word I'm looking for? Quality. The quality, the produces uh, the most for the least return, right? So, for instance, you can have a $10,000 a month budget and still not have the number one spot for a particular keyword, red, Ford, F-150, whatever. Um, a smaller place with less of a budget has that number one spot. But that is because they figured out how to create or provide a more quality experience. They're getting more people picking off their tree. They're getting more people to click on their ads, is what I mean. They're getting more people to turn into customers, to bear fruit. They're getting more engagement, activity, and they're spending less. It's because they're more relevant. It's because people seem to like their tree better than your tree, even though you may have spent more on yours. That's what it's about now. That's really how it should be. And that's what Google's trying to achieve, and in their algorithm and the constant changing and evolutions of this stuff. That's what Google's really trying to achieve. They're really trying to achieve the best relevancy, trying to push the right people up that people really want. And they're using all this data, reviews, clicks, all this stuff to feed their algorithm so that all of this stuff can be automated. Okay, so that's what paid search is. Paid search is essentially, you're going to invest money. You're going to get a quick return quicker than what you will in SEO. Now you're going to have to spend more for it. You're going to have to obviously manage expectations according to your spend. You may not be able to plant 100 trees. You may only be able to plant 5 trees. And in this aspect, I'm using trees as in keywords. You may not be able to plant a bunch. You may just need, if you have a small budget, you may be able to buy 1 tree and just focus on that producing fruit, which would be 1 keyword set. Where if you have more money, then you can buy a lot of different keywords or a lot of different trees, and you can see which ones produce the best fruit, produce the most fruit. Okay, so that's how the paid search world works. It's you pay for what you get. You better kick out quality because you're going to be judged based on that quality, and no one's going to want to, pick off your tree if there's a better one that presents itself, especially higher. SEO, it's the organic side. It's what you're throwing down. It's what you're waiting for to grow organically, and you're going to have to know going into it. You're going to learn a lot of lessons. Is it cheaper? Yes. Does it take more time? Yes. A lot more time. Once it's there and it's growing and there's a cycle in place, does it keep growing? Will it keep growing without having to plant new seeds or buy new trees? Yes. It keeps growing. It keeps going. As long as you maintain it, just like a garden, it keeps going. It keeps going. It keeps going. Okay, so that's a little bit about those. Now let's talk about websites. That's really the destination. That's the home base for where digital traffic essentially will end up at some point or another. Someone's going to end up on your website. It may start on a landing page, but most likely if they're doing the research, they're trying to gain information and learn more about what they're purchasing, chances are they're going to go to the website. Okay, so it's all about the experience, and the experience is different for everybody. If you're like me, I have a very simple website. Gets to the nitty-gritty of who I am and what I do. It doesn't need to be a million pages. Now, I have a 2-page website, contact information, some tidbits about me, some advice. Take it, leave it. I have different goals and ambitions. I have different things I'm trying to achieve. There's going to be digital marketing guys out there that are going to critique what I'm doing. They're going to critique that I don't maybe look the professional part, or that my website should have more information. Well, I'm not going for that. I'm going for the personal relationship. I'm going for, I want to get one-to-one with people. I want people to call me. I want people to trust me. I want to build it through the truth about this industry, the truth about how all this works, so that, because what it boils down to as a consultant is trust. You got to trust me. I'm going to tell you exactly how it is and what how it's going to work, and what to expect, what not to expect. And that's my goal. Your goal may be to sell 1,000 faucets, 1,000 vanity sinks. You may be trying to sell cars online. Everybody has a different goal. Everybody's going to handle it differently. So in general, though, it's the experience. How many clicks does it take me to get to what I'm looking for? If I have to hunt and peck, and you all know it, ain't nobody got like long attention spans right now. Okay, half of y'all already clicked off this damn video, so let's not, let's be honest. But it's all about that experience that you create for what you're trying to portray. If you're trying to portray, great customer service, well, that's going to be the focal point of your website. That's going to be what's front and center. That's going to be what you're trying to get across. And then there's obviously the other secondary and tertiary goals you're trying to achieve, but It's who are you? What am I buying? Who am I buying from? Do I feel safe? Do I feel secure in purchasing from this website or from this store, whatever it may be that you have online? Do I feel safe? Okay, it's not about you. It's about me. It's about the consumers. It's about the consumers out here who are buying this stuff, who are going to these websites, who are looking for this information, and it's who they get to the first, the quickest, the best. That's who's going to win out every single time. So that's your website. How you get to that website, it never stops. Some people think, oh, well, I'm going to build a website. It's going to cost me 10 grand, 15 grand, 100 grand, $1 million. Going to build a website. Okay? Yeah, you're going to build one, but you ain't ever going to stop building it. It's never over. You have to look at things in terms of phases, in terms of, you got phase one, we're coming out the gate, this is who we are, what we do. Phase two, the evolution. Phase three, the continued evolution, whatever. You have to keep going. It never ends. So you can't look at a website as a one-time investment. Would you invest one time in a brick and mortar store? No. There's maintenance you got to do to it. There's things you have to upgrade. There's things you have to do to continue to make it look good, keep it clean, keep it fresh, keep it whatever. Same thing with a website. Just because it's digital doesn't make it, that more or less important. There's people that have a website and they don't change it for 5 years. Well, then you start asking, why are my customers going down? My web traffic's down. Well, hey, call me crazy, but anyway. You have to maintain these things. It's a website. It's your brick and mortar store. It's your storefront. It's who you are. It's your personality, and it should have personality of your business. And so it's very important that you look at things that way. Just like and we'll move on to the next thing, your social presence. I'm not going to tell people what to do from a personal perspective in terms of their social presence. It's a tough line to walk. You want to be personable, but you want to be too personable. You want to turn people off because you have some views in one way and your audience may think another way. But it's just one of those things that it's up to you. And my job or my goal is to help you understand the pros and cons of, if you decide to go social and if you decide to do certain things, that here are the repercussions that you could experience. Here are the things that are great that you could experience. And just like what I'm doing with this video, I'm going to get critiques. I'm going to get people telling me, you're an idiot. I'm going to get people, hey, it's not very perfect. They're not me. They're not trying to do what I'm trying to do. So you have to figure out who you are and what you're trying to do in the social world. And then it is a big decision to go social, because now you have to be ready to engage. You got to be ready to take the hits. You got to be ready to get the critiques, get the negative criticism, get people who maybe not on board, competitors talking crap about you. There's a lot of things you're going to have to deal with. So it's not just, hey, we got to do social. So many companies have approached me with that. Hey, we just got to do it. My first question is, why? I know you're looking for customers. Tell me why you feel social is going to do that for you. Do you have the time? Are you invested? Because it's not me. The social's got to come from the people who do it every day, who are in the dentist office, who are in, the doctor's office, or inside that storefront, or inside whatever it is. To me, you got to get good quality content, and that comes from the people who live and breathe and sleep it every day. It doesn't come from an agency who doesn't really know anything about yourself, who doesn't really know anything about your business. Now, there are agencies out there that get heavily invested in your business and do know. So, again, this isn't a holistic generality of what I'm saying. I'm just saying, in general, I think the best social campaigns are when the business owners, the companies are involved. It's the people. It's not just, hey, happy 4th of July from Coca-Cola. Yeah, they do that and that's great, whatever. And maybe Coca-Cola can get away with that stuff. But still, there's got to be a personality involved, just like in your business. It's got to be you. It's got to be who you are, what you're trying to do. Have some fun. I wouldn't take too many risks because, I would, don't get me wrong. But it's just, once it's out there, and you can never take it back. And so, it's something you have to, proceed with caution. And if that's something you want to do, then I can tell you some of the best ways to do it and some of the best people to work with to get that stuff done. Okay, digital advertising. That's just a general term for, ad placements, billboards. It's branding, okay, branding. Now, granted, it's not exactly like a billboard off 75 anymore, because there is a lot of data and there's a lot of ways to get to that data and segment that data and get to the audience you're looking for. But still, the difference between search and like digital advertising or push media is that with TV, radio, print, and digital advertising, you're pushing information out to people at a point that they're not really looking for it. So they're pushing information out, or I mean, we're pushing information out on Facebook, ads, Coors, Benjamin Franklin Plumbing, whatever, are ads. Now you're looking to stalk your boyfriend, or you're looking to, I don't know, read sports, do a fantasy league, do whatever you're doing. And all we're trying to do in digital advertising is capture your attention with a good ad. That maybe it's something that you had shown interest in, just like you see retargeting ads that when you click on that red Ford F-150 on, a Chrysler, on a Ford website or whatever, now you see that following you everywhere you go. Okay, we know you showed interest in it. Now we're trying to get you to tell us how interested are you really. Okay, that's a form of digital advertising. But the rest, it's just general ads on news sites, on coupon sites. Every site you visit has ads on it now, right? So that is just more of a, how many times can I put this in front of their face, and hopefully they're going to click on it, and hopefully they're going to turn into a customer. Okay, so it's somewhat of a shotgun approach. Only now the shotgun, it's gotten a lot tighter, and you can get to an audience. It's still trickier though. Search is great because they're searching for it. They're way down the funnel in terms of purchase behavior. They're way down the funnel. They're searching for that black cocktail dress. The only thing that could get them even more qualified for that Crystal's boutique in San Antonio would be if they searched black cocktail dress, Crystal's boutique San Antonio. Then you're just like, well, if Crystal's boutique isn't front and center, then she is, for all intents and purposes, killing her business. I mean, that you can't get any more of an exact search than that. So digital advertising is just ads. It's shotgun, throw them out there. Is it a channel to drive customers? Yeah. Is your ROI going to be smaller? Yes. Your return from that particular investment could be smaller. But again, you can't throw your eggs in one basket. You have to try different things. Maybe Facebook didn't work for you. Move those dollars, try a different site. There will be a site that is beneficial to you where you can push ads up, and that is your audience. That is people you're looking for. That is exactly your target. And so I have the best opportunity for them to come hit me because they're not hitting me in search. They're not hitting me in these other channels. I got to try and find other ways to get them into my site or to get them into my store. So that is, again, a channel. I'm going to also be talking about new channels, things that I've learned, things that I've come across that I'm not seeing go mainstream right now. And once they do, it's going to be awesome, especially if you're a retailer. I'll talk about some other programs, and they're awesome programs. If you know anything about the retail space and the operations behind it, the complexity behind POS systems, some POS systems, not all, just the dynamics that come into having to track all this stuff, which is something I'm going to go into next, you'll understand where I'm coming from and why some of these programs just are genius. They're just make the most amount of sense, and everybody should be doing it. Just like retargeting. Everybody should be doing retargeting. Even if you don't do PPC, if you got people coming to a website, you should retarget them. You should spend the money, set it up in Google. You can do it yourself. You can hire people to do it. I can walk you through how to do it, but get it done, because if people are hitting your site, there's no reason for you to not to follow them and retarget to them something you're trying to do for them, something you're trying to offer them. So retargeting, to me, I think every business should do that, even if you can't invest heavily in PPC or at all. So anyway, last piece, most important piece of all this, analytics, tracking. Okay, analytics are free. Okay, so if you use Google Analytics most of the time, it's free. Now, if you are a Fortune 500, Fortune 100, Fortune 1000 business, you may not want Google staring into everything you're doing, because that's part of the trade-off. You get free analytics, Google gets the free data. I mean, come on, let's just be honest. Don't think that you're ever going to get something for free, and that's in this world. If someone gives something for free, it's because they're getting something out of it. I mean, let's just be real. So anyway, Google Analytics, though, I mean, we use that for almost every company I've ever worked with. We always use Google Analytics. You have to track what you're doing. You're spending money in SEO. You're going to know, if you do things properly, what traffic's coming in organically, what traffic's coming in through PPC, what's coming in from social, what's coming in from whatever, because you got to measure. You got to be able to measure this stuff. So many times companies have reached out to me, doctor's offices, plastic surgeons, dentists, it doesn't matter. They have a website. I ask them, okay, well, how many visitors do you get per month? What is the top destination page? How long are they staying there? Oh, we have no idea. Then how do you know how to invest in your marketing? Oh, we just do. You have to invest. You have to invest, and it is going to be some of your time. It could be all of your time. If you want to do it by yourself, it could be 20% of your time, 80% of your money, 30% of your time, 70% of your money, 40% of your time, 6% of your money, and you can see how this goes. But at some level, you have to understand what's going on, so you understand what these people that you're hiring are doing for you. Okay, so that's where analytics comes into play. Tracking. How do you properly track what you're doing? You've got to have those measures in place. Otherwise, you're flying blind. You're flying blind. You don't know what to do next, and that's why you have to have analytics. So, I'll get into other videos. Now's not the time. This is already going to be one of my longer videos. We're at 25 minutes right now, but like I said, I'm unscripted, unedited. I don't. I just want to tell you the truth. Just kind of break down my experiences over the last 18 years. All these videos are going to be driven to my website where you'll learn about, my pricing. I'll tell you right now, it's the truth. I charge $150 an hour on up, and also, it depends. Honestly, if a nonprofit came to me, I may charge them less. I don't know. If the right business, something I really wanted to be involved in, came to me and they didn't have the budget, but I really wanted to be involved in it, I'd probably take less. Different circumstances, people flying me out to New York, sorry, I'm going to have to charge you more. I'm just being honest. You figure a digital marketing strategist, 18 years of experience, there's a lot of knowledge in my head about this space and about how all this stuff works. And I don't just talk one language of SEO or paid search. I talk all the different languages, technology. I know how this stuff is supposed to work. I know what the capabilities are. I may not know how to program myself out of a box, but like I said, my knowledge was accumulated by working with some of the smartest people in the industry, by working with some really smart individuals, and I just basically took their knowledge and put it in my head, and now I make it make sense to the people who are buying this crap. Come on, no salesperson has to sell you on digital. Everybody's going digital. You don't have to sell me on the fact that you're going digital, okay? You need to sell me on your ideas, your strategy. How are you going to take my business to the next level, okay? And so many companies just take this stuff for granted, think that you can just, pick up any old program and throw it at the wall and it's going to generate customers for you. And it doesn't work that way. It really doesn't. And so you got to take the time and understand what it is that you're doing. And this can be overwhelming. And it can feel like a big ball of crap some days, but, it generates a ton of revenue for businesses. And you have to do it. I wish it wasn't so complicated, but it is. I wish, it was much more simple. Hey, I need a billboard on 75, charge me the 10 grand, it stays for 30 days, they do the creative, okay, I'm off to the races. This world doesn't work that way. And so, again, I want to share that with you. I want to educate you. I'm not right or wrong. You could put another digital marketing guy with 18 years experience in front of this screen, and we may share commonalities in our strategies. We may share some of the same ideas. He may think one way about analytics. You need to have one that you pay for because there is no right or wrong answer in this world. There's a million different ways to skin this cat. There's a million different ways to come out the gate. I don't know. Let me see if I can come up with some more cliches. But the point being is that everybody's going to have a different strategy. It just comes down to, does it fit with what you're trying to accomplish? Does it fit within your budget? Does it fit within what you can do and who you want to be as a business? That's what it boils down to. So anyway, I'm going to move on to the next video, which will probably be my last for the day. We're going to talk agencies versus freelance talent versus hiring an employee, and talking about the whole idea or the whole cliche of you get what you pay for. So anyway, on to the next video.